What nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89. Today's manga nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Ron Kamonohashi Deranged Detective Chapter 44. So before I get into this recap and live reaction, let me just remind you to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because of course this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, and I'm just on a non-stop high-speed struggle train heading into chaos, and baby, it is getting faster by the second. Like, we're talking light speed here. It is freaking awful. If you love what I'm doing and want to help keep this channel alive and kicking, feel free to hit up my Cash App and PayPal. Those links are in the description box below. So we found out that, of course, Tiger Don was the killer, and he was hired by the Moriarty family, or he's part of the Moriarty family, and he was lying through his goddamn teeth like a typical lawyer. And we're going to find out why this week. So without further ado, let's get to this. And of course, volumes 1 through 4 are only on sale in Japan. Seriously, Viz, why? Why are you not fucking licensing this manga? Anyways. Can Ron hold his own against Don, the M family assassin? The case, well, yeah, he was a freaking fake lawyer. But yes. Anyway, and this chapter is titled The Case of the Plateau Overrush Serial Murders Part 7. And this cover page, as usual, looks boss. Just like my kitty, who's on my lappy, looking like an adorable little kitties. That's because you are, and you got a little eye bogey. Hold on. There we go. We got rid of the eye bogey. You don't want little bogeys in your eyes, Keys. The one who committed the serial murders that the Alvaraj Rum is invited to was the M family's agent, Tiger Don. Not to be confused with the Tiger King. His goal was to make Ron remember that his father was a criminal so he'd stop his detective work. He said his other goal was to eliminate everyone connected with the case from 17 years ago, but that was a lie. Even I noticed it. What you need to analyze right now is Tiger Don's colossal lie. Lie? Toto, what are you talking about? I mean, don't you think it's weird? The M family eliminates anyone who fails them, right? In the case with Winter, he eliminated the ones who fell for his scam. But as for the case 17 years ago, Dr. Gore's murder went off without a hitch. Your plan already succeeded. That's true. I see. Nothing gets past you, huh? Oh, but from our perspective, the case 17 years ago was a failure. What? Huh? The M family wanted to kidnap Dr. Gore, not murder him. What? Not murder him? What? Kidnap him? So then did my father give out the wrong instructions? And yeah, Elliot made a preposterous error. Dr. Gore was the world's leading pathogen researcher. If we'd been able to capture him alive, it would have led to incredible wealth for us. So since Ron's father messed up, did the M family purge him too? Of course we did. Oops, just remembered another job to do. You guys are gonna die too. Yeah, don't shoot. Ooh. Oh my God. I'd completely forgotten. I was so sad. It was the saddest thing that ever happened to me. Ron, so you remembered? But I don't know why I'm this sad. My father was a hateful criminal. And with the M family of all people. Ron, you were born from the Moriarty crime family and their arch nemesis, the Holmes detective family. You're a forbidden child. Yes, a forbidden child. My fractured memories are, I was born into the Moriarty family, which has worked in crime for generations. So I grew up believing that was the only way I could live. It pained me to see people suffering, and I always wondered if this was really okay. But I thought I couldn't change my fate, so I didn't doubt it. But, you know, I changed when I met your mother. Your mother is the one who made me like this. Listen, Ron. Don't be bound by the Holmes or the Moriartys. Follow the path you want to walk. Yes, see? So happy by this. But it takes strength to live the way you want. I'm going to read this again right here. Hold on, let me make sure. And that's why I'll teach you everything I've learned. Okay, this is very important. I have to stress this right here because this is extremely important. Because this is what, especially in America in particular, and maybe just in the West, is really fucking missing right now. Because I was raised, I'm not going to lie, I was raised I was raised this way, but I want to read this in particular. Where is it? Minus the "you're a forbidden child" stuff. Okay. I was born into the Moriarty family, which has worked in crime for generations, so I grew up believing that was the only way I could live. It pained me to see people suffering, and I always wondered if this was really okay. But I thought I couldn't change my fate, so I didn't doubt it. See, our boy here, Elliot, he believed because he was born into the Moriarty family, he didn't know, and he was not allowed to be a kid. He was indoctrinated into the Moriarty because, of course, he's a Moriarty. He was indoctrinated to believe in this. He was raised to believe in this, and he didn't know there was another way that he could live. Um, and it pained him to see him suffer, and he always wondered. He was questioning if this was really okay. He kept wondering about it, but he thought because this was all the only way that he knew, because of, technically the indoctrination and all that, he couldn't change his fate, so he just didn't question it. He couldn't question it. But I changed when I met your mother. And when he met his mom, Ron's mom, he saw that there was, he said that there basically said his worldview expanded, that he wasn't wrong, that there was another way. There was another way of thinking. There was another way of life. Your mom is the one who made me like this. Listen, Ron, don't be bound by the Holmes or the Morieties. Follow the path you want to walk. He's basically saying, look, don't be bound by these two sides. No, do what you want. Do what you want to do. Think the way you want. Don't let one side or the other side influence you. Don't. Do what you want to do. Bless you. Oh, kitty Sneeze. Oh, you're such a cute kitty. You okay, my little sneezy kitty. But it takes strength to live the way you want. Exactly. Because especially right now, you have these flocks of sheep. You have you have both flocks, and this is why I say there's two flocks, all sheep, because you have both flocks trying to indoctrinate everyone into their way of thinking. I don't know if the home side of the family is doing it like that. I don't. It's obviously the Moriarty side, the Morieties are doing it. I don't think the Holmes are. From what we know, the Holmes are not doing that. I don't think the Holmes clan really gives a fuck. From what we know, anyway, they don't give a fuck. But the Morieties obviously do. But this is true, especially for me. It does take strength to live the way you want. It takes strength to be an individual. It does take strength because you have to deal with the pressures of what society wants from you, expects from you, and wants you to believe. Look at Twitter. Twitter, the best example of this. You see and also Facebook too, but Twitter I'm going to use as an example. You look at Twitter and you see these mofos, and this is not all of Twitter. It's just a sect. It's just a toxic sect of Twitter. You see these mofos like shaming people, and it's because they don't agree with them on one thing. We've seen people like stop being friends with someone, especially like for that they were friends with for a long time, because they don't agree with them on one thing politically. And it is just the dumbest goddamn thing I've ever seen. People just don't want to think for themselves anymore, and it is just freaking stupid, and I hate it. I really goddamn do. But this line in particular really is so fucking true. It is, because people have this need to want to fit in. This line, but it takes strength to live the way you want. Damn fucking straight. Because sometimes you have to go against the grain to live the way you want, especially in the case of Elliot. But this too, and that's why I'll teach you everything I've learned. Yes, and remember what I said, and this is why I was getting very pissy with Ron, is that it's important to have the skill sets that with my parents, they gave me like the skill sets that they learned and that they wanted to instill to me, the morals that they wanted to instill to me. and basically they said to me, you can just do what you want with them. You don't have to think the same way that I do. Appreciate it, but do what you want. That's what that's how I was raised. And right now, with how society is, people want, especially with a lot of these fucking sheep, they want their kids to think the same way that they do instead of thinking for themselves, which is terrible. But, and everyone keeps attacking the schools and all that. Yeah, to an extent, I understand. But it's your, and this is why I like Elliot. I'm getting to my point here. This is why I respect Elliot so much as a father. He is basically saying, look, I'm going to teach you everything that I know and give you the skills that I think are important, that I've learned, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do with them. You don't have to be part of the Variety family. You don't have to do shit with them. But I think it's important. I'm going to teach you the skills that I've learned and pass them on to you, and you can do what you want with them. And I think that's so important. It fucking is. But anyway, Ron, sorry, Toto. I'm fine now. Tiger Don, why is it that the ones connected to the failed job 17 years ago weren't killed back then and are being targeted now? Isn't it because my father outwitted you and the M family didn't know about their involvement until just recently? Ooh, maybe the reason you're so worked up about purging those who were involved is because you recently learned that Dr. Gore is still alive. You knew that? Of course not. But there was something odd about the operation my father directed 17 years ago. Why did he have the professor taken to the hospital on the way to the warehouse? It was so he could swap out the professor with the dummy corpse in the rear garden. Ah! I see you deduced it from that? No. My father is the one who proved it. Knowing my father, he tried to arrange things so nobody else involved got hurt. Knowing it would be used for evil, he'd never hand over a pathogen expert to the M family, let alone kill them. And you know what? If you haven't read Variety the Patriot, which I'm binge reading right now, yes, I'm doing the trilogy of mystery series. I really suggest you go read it because the Variety family in that manga are very interesting, and it just makes me think that Elliot is more like the Variety family up in Variety the Patriot. And I'm curious what you guys think. So this is Elliot's son, Ron. You're correct. Elliot tossed a corpse from the morgue into the river and let the professor escape. Recently, we finally learned that he'd been living in Switzerland under a false name, and we figured out everything from the past. What's so funny? Thanks to you giving me a shock, it got me to remember all my sealed memories. Tiger Don, your actions had the opposite effect. I'll continue to use my pesky intellect to stand against the M family. What? Ron! Of course I'm unable to officially do detective work thanks to all of you, and Blue considers me responsible for a mass murder. For me, detective work is a forbidden activity. But even so, like my father told me, I'll walk the path I've chosen myself and defeat all of you. But you said yourself it's forbidden, right? Don't you get it? You're already cornered. Good grief! Are you blind? Of course I can't do it by myself. That's why when push comes to shove, I've got a pesky partner who will chew me out when I need it. That's right, Tiger Don. Even if Ron can't do it, I'll be the one to arrest you. Now drop the gun. Hey, something wrong with your brain? If I shoot, it's the end for all of you. But at least now you shouldn't feel like killing me anymore. If it got out that you got me to disclose info about your father, then he'd have a good laugh at me. He? Yes, it's a real hoot, Uncle Tiger. This has been quite an amusing show. What the fuck is going on with this bear? The stuffed animal? No way! Who is it? Howdy, Ron Kamonohashi. I'm an extremely busy man, so I really don't have the time for this sort of thing. I'm the Variety family's eldest son, Milo Variety. Ron finally meets his arch nemesis. Yes! I'm not gonna lie, Milo does look like one of the Varieties up in Variety the Patriot. I think it's William Variety. Yeah, he does. Doesn't he? Oh my god, if you read Variety the Patriot, you know what I'm talking about. Yes. So I'm going to tell you right now, this chapter has to be one of my favorite chapters of this manga. It does. I love Elliot. I love him. I really do love what he said. I love his morals. I love that he said that, dude, you don't have to do shit. You don't have to be bound to, you don't have to do what the M family wants. You don't have to do what the Holmes family wants. You're not beholden to either of them. Nah, you do what you want to do. I'm just here to give you the skill. I'm just going to give you the skill sets that I learned, and if they end up being useful to you, there you go. And I like that. And as I said, that is what a parent is supposed to do. And I'm so glad that Amano Sensei put this in here, especially right now. The timing of this is so important. It really goddamn is. And shit, this is common sense anyway. I'm not even a parent. But when I do become a parent, which I hopefully will at some point, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to indoctrinate my kids. And I hope you guys, if you are parents or are planning on becoming parents, I hope you guys follow this example. Not doing the Variety family shit. Well, maybe some of the Variety family shit that, Elliot taught Ron, like picking locks, that's actually kind of useful, not gonna lie. Some of that shit that you taught Ron was, if you remember, was kind of useful, so go for it. But the main underlying thing about, teaching like important skill sets, and the shit that you have learned in your life and passing it on to the next generation, I think that's very important. I really do. And then letting them decide what they want to do with it. And let them walk their own path. I think it's just so important. It really freaking is. And then if they are making stupid ass mistakes, give them the business about it. Let them know. Because that's what being a parent is. At least from my opinion. At least that's how I was raised. But I'm very curious what you guys thought of this chapter. What do you guys think about Elliot's speech? I really love it. I love I love Amano's take on Elliot. What Elliot being a father for the most part. I love what Elliot did with the body, and that Dr. Gore is still alive. I love it. And I love that that's why Elliot was ultimately killed. That makes the most sense. But I'm really curious what we're going to get with Milo now. And yes, you can make the argument that this could have been extremely cheap. This could have gone in a very, very cheesy direction, but I'm glad it didn't. Very glad it didn't. And that bear is fucking creepy as hell. But I'm now I'm even more curious about the connection with Blue, with Blue and Ron's parents. I'm very, very, very more curious about it. I am. I'm very curious what you guys think. Are you guys excited to get into more of obviously the lore, the Variety lore, and not just that? Are you excited to see, like, maybe in the next, after this arc is done, maybe we'll get some more insight into like Ron's parents' connections with Blue? I really hope so. I really do. And then what was the other thing I was gonna say? And if you have, and also I want to mention this too, as I said earlier, if you are reading Variety the Patriot, like I said that I am, and I'm going to cover it, I want to know if you guys kind of see a similarity with the Varieties up in Variety the Patriot and with Elliot, because they're so similar in some ways. And yes, Elliot is a lot warmer than, like, say, than the Varieties in Variety the Patriot in terms of like personality, but like what they're doing is completely different too at the same time. But we'll have to wait and see what direction Amano's going to go in with this. I kind of want to know more about the home side of the family. I can't wait to explore that. I'm hoping that maybe in the next, after we get a little bit more of the variety stuff, I'm hoping we're going to explore the home side of the family soon. I'm hoping that because we did get the info about father and shit, about Elliot, we're going to explore mama next. I'm very curious what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdykins Inc. If you love what I'm doing and want to help keep this channel alive and kicking, there's a few ways you can do that. Donate to my Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off my Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, find me on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdykins, I will be seeing you later. Bye.